Hi, same background, same place. Yeah, I just finished episode talk about the difference and between Qigong and Taiji Chuan. Yeah, now is the time to get into more detail, more background, or you can say the history of Taiji Chuan. Yes. Yeah, in the past 20, 30 years, so many times I've been asked why Taiji is so popular and why the original Taiji is Chen style, but it's not that popular as Chen style Taiji, and there are so many questions about Taiji. But I will say, if you know the history of Taiji, and then you will get all the answer. Right? So let's start it. Okay, so there are two versions of when and who created Taiji. Right? One is the one I always mention that it's in Chen village. That person who created Taiji, his name is Chen Ting. Yeah, why I mention that is because this version is being approved. They have evidence to approve this saying. They can find those people. They still there. They can find the history evidence. All right, to approve what they are saying. All right. So the other version is Tai Chi created by Master Jiang Sanfeng. Jiang Sanfeng, he is Taoist, practitioner, right? He's a master, of course. He's well known, and then back to like a Ming Dynasty. It's much earlier than the Chen Ting. Yeah, he's well known. It's like if you know you know boxing, you must know Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. If you know basketball, you must know who's Michael Jordan and who's Yao Ming, right? It's a well-known person, and then yeah, he's very famous. He created a lot of training method, and yeah, that's him. But in between Zhang Sanfeng and that person who created Taiji, we call it Chen Ting, there is not much evidence, proof. There are books talk about it. There is, form, much form related to Taiji, and then you don't find that the people generation to generation, the lineage from Jiang Sanfeng to that Chen Ting. Yeah, there is, of course, there is a fairy tale. There is a lot of story about that, but there's no evidence. All right, that's why I will talk about this more later on, and then why Jiang Sanfeng will become a person to create Taiji, and not that Chen village, Chen Ting. All right, so there are two versions, but now I'm more, believe in, the Chen Wangting version. Right, so if there is no evidence, it's just fairy tale. Right, so okay, so let's follow this version. Master Chen Wangting has been practice Qigong, and he's a retired general, and combine these two to create Taiji Quan. Taiji Quan, Taiji is philosophy term, right? Quan means martial art, fighting skill, or one of the style, all right? And then you can put Quan behind Shaolin, and then they call it Shaolin Quan, or you put Quan behind Wing Chun, and it's a Wing Chun Quan. That's a Wing Chun style martial art. All right, that's if they put Quan after Tai Chi, this is a Tai Chi style martial art. All right, so Tai Chi Quan. Now, if you translate it from word to word, Quan means fist. Right, Quan means fist, fighting skill. Anyway, so let's continue. And they have a family business. They teach from generation to generation. This is a very unique training method to make them become a better fighter. Until one day, there's a person whose last name is Yang. His Yang Lu Chan. He learned this unique training method from Chen village because he's adopt child. By the time you adopt a child, become a worker in the family, it's very common back to like 300 years ago. 150 years ago, end of the Qing dynasty, right? So people in Chen village treat him as a Chen family member. Even his last name is not Chen. And then he learned everything. And then when he's grow up, and then he become adult, and then he back to his hometown. His hometown is Hebei province, Yongnian County, and then he back there because in his master, he worked for, he had a branch in Yongnian County, and then when he getting mature, he go back to the that store to take care of the family business. I'm talking about the Chen family's business. He's one of the person work for the Chen family, right? It's a business, and then he start to teach what he learned in Chen village, right? So he's good at it. He's a good fighter. A lot of people learn from him, and then he taught some student over there. And one day, by some reason, story said that he hurt somebody, or maybe he killed somebody when he during the fight. All right, because by the time if you are teaching martial art, people will come to challenge you. If you're not good, I'm not learn from you. Even you're good, and they have a business competition. They want to destroy your business. They always end up with a fight, right? And then he hurt somebody, maybe he killed somebody, and then he went to the biggest city in China, which is the capital city in Beijing. And then when he is in Beijing, and he has to use what he good at it to make a living, right? and then he started to teach. Before he teach, there is story tells, and then he said he compete with all the local master, right? And some bagua, some the other style. He's good at it, and then people say, "Yeah, you're good at it." And then he start to settle down and start to teach his Tai Chi, and later on, he been referred by some of the famous people to the royal family to teach the royal family something he's good at it. By the time he didn't put his name on what he teach, he still say, yeah, people say, yeah, your kung fu, your martial art is so unique. Of course you're a good fighter, but the motion movement is so soft like a curtain. I mean cotton, yeah, soft like a cotton, And then it's mostly is a continuation of the move. It's not like the other style. You do one fighting skill, then stop, and another fighting skill. Then mostly your whole form is like a continuation, right? So people like it, and then he started teaching the royal family, and then one of a sudden, those people live in Beijing, and then they say, oh, the royal family start to practice and learn from this master. He must be good. And then he got a lot of invitation or booking. He got more students, right? And then he become famous, right? And then he lived in Beijing, and he become famous, and then he started to teach his next generation, and then his next generation will start to pass to the next generation. Yeah, that's by the time he already put his last name on front of his what he's doing, and then that they call it the Yang style Tai Chi Quan, yeah, because his last name is Yang, Y-A-N-G, right? So by the time no one know he's learning from a Chen village, and then he's doing what he teach. It's part of the Chen style Tai Chi Quan. And then he become famous and become famous. His next generation, he started to teach Tai Chi in Beijing area or even in the other province. And then the third generation, he's even further. He started to teach Tai Chi, Yang style Tai Chi Quan all over the China. At least those are big cities. Right. That's why Yang style Tai Chi Chuan is the first Tai Chi Chuan get introduced to the public by Master Yang Lu Chan, and then started spread out, start from Beijing city, the other province, and all over the China. All right, and then it's been there for like 3 generations already. Before the people come out from Chen village to show people what the original Chen style Tai Chi Chuan looks like. All right, so that means in the business point of view, this Tai Chi product is already everywhere before the unique original product came out from the Chen village. Yeah, so that will answer the question why Yang style Tai Chi is the most popular Tai Chi in the world. It's because Yang style it's been teaching and promoted and spread out of China, even out of China, 3 generations before Chen style Tai Chi out of the village to show the public, to they're willing to teach outside the village people, right? Before they have a rule, normally they don't teach the outside people. They want to keep it secret, right? They want to keep this training method as a secret to benefit from generation to generation, right? Okay, that's the history of Yang style Tai Chi. Of course, if you check the history, the Yang style Tai Chi, those people, they call it the lineage. They don't say Tai Chi Chuan, it's from Chen village. It's created by Zhang Sanfeng. By some reason, Master Chen Wangting learned from another master, and then that master will have a connection from a Taoist system, and then the Taoist system it's passed by Master Zhang Sanfeng, right? So in Yang style Tai Chi and Wu style Tai Chi, you don't hear they say Tai Chi is created by Master Chen Wangting. They always say Tai Chi Quan created by Master Zhang Sanfeng. And then they also have a very vivid fairy tale, tells how Master Zhang Sanfeng learned Tai Chi, and then one of a sudden he become much better fighter and better killer, right? They say Master Zhang Sanfeng, they have a big fight with the other master, and then they always have a 50-50 fight, and it's hard to win the match. And then one day in the evening, and then he had a dream. There is a god or some master in the dream to teach them this way of fighting. And then next day he realized his kung fu, his skill, his fighting skill, his everything improved. And then he went out to fight and then kill a lot of people and win the match. Something like that. That's the fairy tale. And I think this one is also in some of the movie or the TV series, or maybe some of the book. They talk about how Master Zhang Sanfeng created Tai Chi, right? Tai Chi Quan. And then I should say it's a fairy tale because there's no evidence in between, right? So Yang style Tai Chi and Wu style Tai Chi, they always say Master Zhang Sanfeng, who is the person created Tai Chi and passed from generation to generation all the way up to Master Chen Wangting. And then he learned from another master. That master will learn from the Taoist system. All right. So, yeah, they all admit it came out. Master Yang Lu Chan learned Tai Chi from Chen village, but this Tai Chi it's not created by Master Chen Wangting. It's created by Zhang Sanfeng. Chen Wangting learned from some master, and then that's the lineage, where the Tai Chi come from. Okay, so okay, let's talk about Chen style Tai Chi. All right, Chen style Tai Chi, like I mentioned before, they don't teach outside people, and then but still, I should say, leaking out, right? even you don't want it, but still people, they want to make a living, and then they go out of a village to teach something they're good at it. Okay, and in one day, all right, there is a platform gave for those martial artists to compete to see how good you are in Beijing. All right, it's like a stage, everybody can go fight there. All right, if you lost, and then you will not stay there, and then whoever win, they will stay in the stage until somebody beat them up, and then he will leave or resign or something. Okay, so there is a person who want to show how good he is. He's coming out from the village, Chen village, and then he stayed in that stage for 7 days. Nobody beat him up, right? He yeah, you can say he can fight. He must be good. And then the people say, what the hell are you doing? You're so good. And then nobody beat you. And then what do you do? What style kung fu you are doing? And then he said, I'm doing Tai Chi Quan. And I said, what? Tai Chi Quan is everywhere, but that doesn't look the same. Oh, he said, no, I'm doing Tai Chi Quan. You must be good, right? And then since you already approved, you're good at it. Are you willing to teach? And then the person whose name is Chen Pei, right? And he said, no, I'm not good at it. My uncle much better than me. If you guys want to learn, I will introduce my uncle to you. All right, he's much better than me. And then he started to go back to his village, and then brought out his uncle. All right, and then his uncle's name is Chen Faku. Yeah, and then this is 1928. All right, so now it's almost 100 years ago, right? By the time Taiji Chuan is everywhere, but is mostly Yang style, and some of the other style, Wu style, or the other Wu Hao style and Sun style, they're already there. All right. So and this master Chen Faku, he's very good, and then the people heard about his nephew. It's already shocking the whole martial art world, and then people will come to see how he's doing. And then he's doing his form, the Paltry second form, very aggressive Tai Chi original fighting form. And then there is one detail, surprise a lot of people. And then in Chen style original Tai Chi form, they have a lot of stamping. They stamp on the floor, stamp on the ground, right? And then during he showing his form, and then he doing very strong stamping on the ground, and then the break, when he's, people look at underneath his feet, the brick is already get break. All right, the brick get break. All right, crack. As people, oh my God, it's shocking a lot of the master. After he doing his things, of course, I think he will do some push hands, some jaw locking kind of to show people, to let people experience how good he is. And then right away, those people will say, "Oh my God, this guy is good." Right away, a lot of people, some of them, they already Tai Chi master, and from the other style, they already say, "Okay, if you're willing to learn, I will learn from you." All right, something like that. And then he already have many students. Okay, so this is the first person really out of a Chen village to teach Chen style Tai Chi, who is the first person, and then well known and become famous. And then I heard about it that there is even earlier than him, some people would teach in the other county, but didn't make it a big noise, and then it didn't make become well known, right? Master Chen Faku is the first master out of Chen village to teach Tai Chi in Beijing, right? By the time Yang style Tai Chi is already their third generation, all right? So that means much later than Yang style, and then Yang style Tai Chi and then the other style Tai Chi is already everywhere in China, right? So that's one of the reasons Chen style Tai Chi is not popular, right? Because it's coming out late, all right? The market is already full. The market share is somebody is already occupied the market. The other reason why Chen style Tai Chi is not that popular is because it's much more difficult to learn and much more intense to practice, and then physically, mentally, it's much demanding. You have to have a preparation physically and mentally, all right? So that's why not many people will have a chance to experience. Even they have a chance to experience, they might not ready to continue. Yeah, that's why Chen style Tai Chi is not that popular. Even we all know Chen style Tai Chi is the original Tai Chi. All right. So yeah, I think I already answered your question. Why they say, Zhang Shenfeng is the person who created Tai Chi, not the Chen village farmer, because the general after he retired, he become a farmer, right? So, yep, that's the history of Chen style and Yang style. What about the other style? We have more style, right? So I think I will make another episode because I look at the time, it's almost 30 minutes. All right, so I do a little recap, right? So yeah, Tai Chi Quan, it's been practiced in Chen village, right? So, but you only practice in Chen village, and no people were out of the village to teach their secret. But by some reason, there is a person whose name is Yang, he out of the village, and then later on went to the capital state of China, and then he become well known, and Tai Chi under his name, Yang style Tai Chi Quan, will very soon 2-3 generations will spread out of China everywhere. People will already know, the first time to know, first impression, first experience, it's a Yang style, all right? and then Yang style is the most popular Tai Chi style. And why Yang style is so different from Chen style? It's because Master Yang Luchan, he teach his Yang style outside his house. I should say, when he want to promote his Yang style Tai Chi, he modified Chen style first form to Yang style Tai Chi, make it more easy to learn, more easy to practice, much easier health benefit you can get when you do Yang style Tai Chi. And yeah, that's the one of the reason he modified Tai Chi, because if he teach the same thing when he's doing in Chen style, probably he will not get many students, because it's very intense, more difficult to learn, and that means it's not easy to get the health benefit. The other reason we all try to we guess he doesn't want the public know his secret is Chen style. He must use something instead of teaching original Chen style. He modified. But when he teach his next generation, he will teach Chen style for sure. I mean the second generation, they still doing very aggressive Chen style second form. We call it Pao Chui. They still doing very aggressive long staff condition training. They still doing punching, kicking, and then of course push hand. And then they still can receive a lot of a challenge, when people challenge them. The next generation still can fight. All right. And yeah, so he want to keep the secret. That's why he doesn't want to lose his advantage. If everybody knows Chen style, and then he loses advantage. All right, all the way to the third generation. And then why Yang style is so, looks like no one do second form, and no one do very intensive training. And then I should say very, very low percentage Yang style master, they can just go out and, well, yeah, I can do fighting, and that instead of I can do push hand. Right now is the master, they 99.9% of the master, they don't know how to fight, and then they always say, oh yeah, I'm good at push hand. But push hand is something, we call it sub-training for the fighter. Right? So you cannot say I only know push hand. Up to push hand, one step further, I don't know. I could not do it. But for some reason, all the master, they will say, oh yeah, I can fight. I can hit you without touching you. I can beat 10 people. I can use a superpower to hurt you. Something like that. That's all out of the boundary. But anyway, yeah, let me spend a few minutes to talk about the why now the Yang style Tai Chi, even those very direct lineage, those people, they don't know those things, the original Yang family they're doing. It's because at the third generation, Master Yang Chen Faku, When he was young, he had his father and his uncle. They all good fighter. He just like those rich and famous third generation in the world. He's just enjoy his rich life. He still practice, but it's not intense like their father and uncle generation. Of course, his grandfather must be good, right? So when we look at the photo he took when he was young, around 30 years old, and then he just looked like a normal beginner. You don't see he's had a very solid background, and then he can do the same like the older generation, right? But one of a sudden, something happened. He has to push himself to the limit to become a doorkeeper, because one day his father, his uncle, they all died in very short a period of time. And then when he became a doorkeeper, he realized his kung fu, his fighting skill, his fundamental is not strong enough to against all the challenger. All right, and then he closed his school for 6 years. In these 6 years, he do a lot of very intensive training with his student. And then after 6 years, and he opened the school again, and then his skill level, his fundamental, it's much better than 6 years ago, right? When he closed the school, and he still can compete with those people, challenge them with push hand, but other than that, no further competition. It's not like his older generation can do everything. He's good. He's a big guy. He's like a 300-pound big guy. He's good at skill because his students are the same size. All right, and then after 6 years, they closed the door training for 6 years, and then average people could not win the game, could not beat them up when they compete with the push hand. All right, and then at the same time, they all become, we should say, the Chen style second form. The lot of intensive training is not there anymore, because he didn't learn from the last generation when he before he closed the door to do his own training. So that means most of the fighting skill, the fundamental training, it come from his workout with a training or a practice with his student. The last generation, those are, I should say, the very core key training, like second form in Chen style. Some of the long stuff, internal power training, or the other training, punching, kicking, I don't think he will continue. All right, maybe he's not good at it. If he is not good at it, he will not teach the next generation, I mean his student. And then that's why nowadays you don't see people can do the same like the first and second generation. But the name of the form, the very intensive training is still written in the book. They say, oh yeah, our first generation, they do this and do that. But no people can teach you anymore because Master Yang Chengfu, some of the contents discontinue from this generation, right? So all the background story, you guys can do your own research. It's there, but I'm the one to collect them together to make up my version. I should say that will make sense. That will answer the question people ask why Yang style Tai Chi Chuan, is just like slow exercises. It's not, you don't see much martial art application. You can see some of the martial art application in Chen style form. Okay, I think it's long enough to introduce, to talk about the background story about Chen and Yang style. And the other three style, I will make an episode to continue, right? Which is Wu style, Wu Hao style, and Sun style, right? Yeah, so much for today. It's pretty long already, Yeah.